Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Before we get into what dumbass opinion Nick Wright has now about the New York Jets, how about this for an announcement? The Jake Asman merch store launches Tuesday, July 23rd. That's next Tuesday when the Jets report the training camp. If you join my Patreon, you get full access to everything on Saturday. That's right, a couple days from right now. Merch store is live, people. This Tuesday, if you want it early, this Saturday. Jets, 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 Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll say it again. Merch store. It launches Saturday. For those of you who are kind enough to support me on Patreon, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Not only will you get early access to all the merch, and first come, first serve, people. We got some great items in there, but you'll also get a discount code to use at checkout so you could save an additional 15% off. So you get early access and a discount, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. We got some unbelievable items in there, and I can't wait for everyone to certainly enjoy. All right. Joining us right now to talk all things Jets and react to one of the sillier takes we've had all offseason, this by Nick Wright of FS1, is the great Andrew Fialkow, who joins us now. Hello, Andrew.
Yes, sir. Jake, how we doing?
I didn't get a ticket to the gun show. I just wanted to let you know.
It's not. I'm in the Hamptons, so it's like it was nice and sunny. I've been getting so tan, but yeah, it's good weather here.
Well, a lot to talk about with you. We'll get to the Nick Wright cut coming up here momentarily, but I want to shout you out. Andrew, I sent you the link early to start getting some gear in that merch store, and Andrew went to town. He bought like 4 items real quick, so I appreciate you. You're the first customer in the merch store. You got your gear early before anybody. How about that?
Yeah, I was telling you on the pre-show, I was like, I'll be so excited, and I think it's so cool. Like week 3, if we go to the game and I see other people wearing like Jake Asman merch, I mean, I know how cool that'd be for you, but like also for me being a part of the show. So obviously had to support, and I'm not even just like shamelessly plugging it for you. I'm being genuine. Like the stuff on there is awesome. So many different selections, like different colors, like we were talking about. So yeah, really good stuff.
Can't wait. And a year ago it was supposed to launch. That's why I had this initial t-shirt ready to go, and then it all kind of fell apart. So here we are a year later. It's about to launch Saturday once again for Patreon users. And if you're not a Patreon user, Tuesday for the general public. You can check out the website. You just won't be able to get on yet. It's jakeasman.com, and then you hit the shop tab, or just go to jakeasman.com/shop. All right, let's hear from Nick Wright. He was on the Colin Cowherd program, so you have 2 of the biggest collection of Jet haters in a single segment here. And this was a question that Nick Wright posed about the expectations for the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. And here's Nick Wright's latest nonsense involving the Jets.
Why would this Jets team get a better Aaron Rodgers than that Packers team did? Remove the Achilles. Let's pretend it didn't happen. Do they have a better coach? No, the Packers have a great offensive mind and Matt LaFleur. The Packers have Bob Saleh and an offensive coordinator they tried to replace in the offseason, but they couldn't competently do it. Oh, it's all these amazing weapons. I mean, Garrett Wilson's awesome. Breece Hall is a good to very good player who last year, even though the Jets tried to game the system in the final game of the year and give him 40 touches so he get to 1,000 yards, the coaching staff couldn't even do the math properly, and he finished at 992 when the whole game was to get him to 1,000. Like, The Jets don't have elite weapons. They have one great receiver. They don't have an elite offensive line. They just don't have a disaster at the offensive line anymore. And they don't have an elite quarterback. A quarterback who at age 38 was league average across the board, had the worst season that he'd had in 12 years, and then tears his Achilles, does not all of a sudden get awesome. He might get back to that level, and that level's not good enough. So, no, that's a very simple, obvious point. And I understand that the Jets have a lot of fans, which is remarkable because they've been one of the least competent organizations for 50 years across sports. And I think this year probably continues that.
I mean, where do we even start with just the buffoonery there? I mean, first off, when you bring up Rodgers' 2022 season and you don't bring up the fact that he didn't have as good a weapons as he had in previous years, and that he played with a rib injury and a broken thumb on his throwing hand, when you don't mention that and just say he was average across the board, like, that's very misleading. And also, statistically, if the Jets had gotten that guy the last 2 years, this is a playoff team the last 2 years. 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 3,700 yards passing. The Jets would gladly take that. So that's nonsense, what he says right there. And also, I know you're going to go off on this, but the way he talked about Breece Hall there was infuriating. He's a good running back. He was second in the NFL last year, coming off a torn ACL with the worst O-line, worst play caller in yards from scrimmage. I mean, God, there's so much there. I'll let you go. But Nick Wright, stop it, dude. I get it. Aaron Rodgers didn't get the vaccine, so you hate him for that. You always have. You always will. I get it. But just be objective. What a joke. What a joke that was. That was nonsense.
Yeah. I feel like it's funny. It's like the Jets, and this happens. I feel like on your show, you could find a clip once a week or multiple times a week to just be like, hey, like, this is what they said. It's absolutely asinine and has no base to any of their claims. But here's like another one. I was literally just today and I saw it. I was like, okay, I'll listen to it. I got through the whole thing. First off, the funniest part of that to me is the end. He's like, somehow they have fans even though they haven't been winning. Now, yeah, Nick, like most fans don't just go like, hey, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl this year, I'm going to go root for them. So that was very odd to me. Like, yeah, Jet fans are the best fans. Like, I've been around Jet fans, and we're all suffering and all miserable together, and we're the best fans because we never welch. We're not going to not be a fan of the team because they're not good. So that's first things first. He just, like, lacks a lot of depth in any of his takes. Obviously, the Breece take is horrific. I think Breece is a top 3 running back in the NFL. And as a weapon overall, he has the ability to affect the game as someone like Christian McCaffrey. He's very good out of the backfield as a receiver. He doesn't really talk about that at all. But, yeah, to say he's good to very good is like – it just shows you don't really – I hate saying you don't know ball because I feel like if you say you don't know ball, then I don't know ball by saying like you don't know ball. But you just don't watch the game then. So that's what it is on that. The weapons part, I didn't really understand that much. Because he just neglected to mention that we added Mike Williams. And I understand the knocks on him and be like, oh, he's not going to be healthy, this, that, and the third. I just don't think you could just say, hey, they only have Garrett and Breece. And then obviously, I don't know how you feel about this, but the Rodgers take, I think it's hard to like translate what we could really think of as realistic for him this year. Age, injury, all that. I do know that when he's on the field, and we've watched his film now multiple times, like, and obviously we watched him play, he makes everyone a lot better. He'll make the O-line better. He'll make weapons better. So let's say Breece is just very good. Fine. With Rodgers, he's elite. So obviously, if not, he's going from elite to like could be like a top 3 running back with Rodgers, obviously. Look, Rodgers is going to lift everyone around him. I do understand where he's coming from in the sense of it's hard to predict what Rodgers will be like coming off the Achilles at his age. I happen to think that he will be good and at least as good as he was in 2022, which is like something that everyone's saying, like you said, like it's a bad thing. That's not a horrible thing. He was fighting with injuries then. He had a lot of rookie receivers that he had no chemistry with. So there's so many variables in play that you're just like throwing out guy good, guy bad, like without any details or depth behind it. It's why I stopped watching TV like this a long time ago.
It's sad is what it is. Like he's talking about how, oh, well, the Jets, I don't know why they have such great fans. And then it's going to be another bad year for them. And it's like, okay, well, last year they won 7 games, Nick, with the worst collection of quarterbacks ever assembled, a terrible offensive coordinator, a terrible, absolutely terrible offensive line. So the fact of the matter is this: if they just get 2022 Aaron Rodgers, which I think is like the floor, they're a much better team, probably a playoff team. And like the idea that the Jets don't have good weapons behind them, the idea that the Jets don't have, competent players surrounding him, and this defense is not getting talked enough about. Like he knocks Saleh, and you want to say Saleh's not a good head coach? I mean, okay, at this point he's got to prove he is, but are we not going to bring up the fact that this Jets defense is light years better than that Packers defense in 2022? Are we not going to bring that up? Because that matters too. Aaron Rodgers has not played with a defense this good, Andrew, since he won a Super Bowl back in 2010. Uh-oh.
Yeah. And by the way, am I better now? I was.
You're a little better. There's like a delay, though. Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, this house, I guess the Wi-Fi, I don't even know where the Wi-Fi router is here. Is it bad still?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, the defense is a lot better than he's ever had. And I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to deal with this. But the defense is a lot better than he's ever had. Like you said, it's probably the best defense he's had in a really long time. Maybe the last time when they went to the Super Bowl. But he didn't mention any of that. He only really mentioned the offense. And I don't know. That's why it's like hard to like even like care about a minute 30 take like that where he's just claiming players are good, players are bad, and then Rodgers is not going to be the same. It's like hard for us to evaluate, like I said, if he's going to be better. But we've definitely built a team around him that it'll be easy for him to succeed if he's not his best version of himself.
And that doesn't get mentioned at all. I mean, it was a terrible rant, not surprising, but so much inaccuracies in it. But like, this is the bottom line for the Jets. They're never going to get the benefit of the doubt from anybody. Like the only way to change anyone's perception of the franchise is just to win. And if this motivates them and fires them up, great. Because last year, a lot of people were anointing them before they did anything. This year, I don't want to say they're flying under the radar because they're still the Jets. It's still Rodgers. It's still New York. But the way we talk about this team nationally is way different than what it was at this time a year ago.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And that's what we knew would happen, though, with Rodgers. There's a lot of eyes on the team. Like you said, he's a polarizing figure. So, like you said, it could just be that Nick doesn't like him because of the vaccine situation. But a lot of people don't like Rodgers. Like you said, we should use all this as fuel. And Rodgers is a great guy to have, and he's the best leader to have because everyone could look to him and know that he's been here before. He's went to a Super Bowl. He's been extremely successful throughout his whole career. And it's really him on a team with a lot of guys, besides some of the free agents we got, but a lot of guys that don't know a lot about winning. They're used to – all our rookies are really used to being 7-10 or whatever we've been with them. So I think just having him – that's not spoken about enough. Like having him as the locker room presence, as the leader, there's no way you can amount that to what it really is going to make. And I that's why I have like a lot of faith in this team that's coming here.
100%. And ultimately, if Aaron Rodgers is 2022 Aaron Rodgers, like I think if you're the Jets, you'd sign for that now because that means he would have played the vast majority of the games. And if he gives you that and is healthy come playoff time, I think in the AFC, you'll take your chance with Aaron Rodgers and this defense in a playoff game.
Oh yeah, 100%. I really think like people are gonna like take that as. I mean, I think people have been saying a lot about we're gonna like, run the ball a ton and we need to be like a heavy run team. I disagree honestly with that. I pretty much disagree with that. Anytime it's been brought up, but once it comes to that and we're in the playoffs and it's cold, does it help to have Breece Hall and Braylon Allen, who's going to be a really good runner in cold weather situations, with an O-line that has now been redeveloped and is quite good when healthy? 100%. Like that's why every time I talk about the team, I'm more bought in because I'm like, wait, we did sign Tyron Smith, we did sign Mike Williams, we did sign John Simpson, we did get Morgan Moses. And it's not like we're throwing the practice squad guys back out there. We did draft Olu with our pick to back up Tyron Smith. There's a lot of different things we've done that make me believe that we will be successful this year.
100%. If you're tuned in live right now, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, we're doing our weekly spot with Andrew Fialkow, JetsXFactor.com. Normally we break down film with Andrew, but today we're just talking all things Jets, giving you the state of the team, and we'll get back to the film stuff moving forward with training camp beginning next week. Now, I did want to get into the Davante Adams stuff with you, get your thoughts on that, because we did do a film review earlier in the offseason when Adams was thought to be maybe a potential target in a trade this offseason. So we'll get back to that in a moment. But first, let's give a shout out to Addison. Before the show even started, he dropped a 5-spot, 5-channel memberships.
Money, 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 money.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following 5 listeners are now Asmaniacs: Rabid Jawra, Lego My Ego, Admiral Average, Zach Baloo, and Tank Shizu. You are all officially Asmaniacs. It's important to be an Asmaniac because earlier today, episode number 4 of the Best of the Jake Asman Show dropped on the channel. Relive one of the funnier weeks we've had in the history of this show. Shout out to Gator and Boomtown for their work and putting it all together. Enjoy it. Episode 4 is live for Asmaniacs to enjoy first here on the channel. Couple super chats to get into, and then we'll get to the Davante stuff. Drew writes in, forget the running back. Breece may be a top 5 weapon in the NFL. I've said this, Andrew. It wouldn't shock me if Breece Hall has one of those McCaffrey-like years where he plays himself into the Offensive Player of the Year conversation.
It really just depends how much we're going to use him. He could literally be a guy that has 25 to 30 touches a game very easily. And the sad part about that clip now, I'm just remembering that he said he was like, the Jets staff didn't even know that he was like they were trying to get him to 1,000 yards and they didn't even know. Crazy to me. It reminded me, I'm like, damn, Breece didn't even run for 1,000 yards last year. So he's going to have, I think I said Gary was going to have 1,500 yards, which is a lot. I think Breece could easily have 2,000 combined. I think maybe more. I don't even know how much I think he had like 1,700 probably last year. I think he'd probably do 2,500 this year, receiving and rushing yards with ease.
It's possible. I mean, you look at what he did last year. He was second in the NFL in yards from scrimmage behind McCaffrey. And think about what McCaffrey has cooking with the play caller he has, the quarterback he has, the line he has, the other weapons that they have to focus on so he is free to do his thing. The Jets could have a similar version of that with Breece. That's how special he is. Yeah,
100%. I would hope that they would kind of look towards how the Niners do use McCaffrey. If you see how much motion they use him in, they line him up at receiver. I mean, I was praying for the Jets to line up Breece as a receiver last year. And I don't remember if we did a film review or I did it for Jets X Factor, but there was a time where we did line him up and positive things happened all the time when we were lining him up as a receiver. So like that comment said, he's a weapon. You got to use him in many, many different ways. And God willing, Hackett will do that this year. I really hope so.
Hennessy Heisman checks in with a super chat. He cuts the line. They can't stop talking about us. The Giants are on Hard Knocks, and nobody cares. We are the talk of the town, and I can't wait to show all my receipts. I love it, Hennessy. And I'll tell you what, I did watch episode 3 of Hard Knocks last night. A couple good Jet nuggets in there. The Jets and Giants were both going after John Runyon, the guard from the Packers, who ended up signing with the Giants. The Giants had to pay him more because if it was a tiebreaker, he was going to the Jets because he wanted to play with Rodgers and play for Hackett again. So that was an interesting nugget. And maybe the more important nugget from the show, the number 1 backup quarterback priority for the Giants was to bring Tyrod back. Jets paid him more. Tyrod became a Jet. So the Giants did want Tyrod back. The Jets just forked over more money to get him, placing even more of an emphasis on the fact that the Jets learned from their debacle of a mistake last year and got a legit backup for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I meant to watch that. I've watched the first 2. I'm not surprised that we were in on Runyon. I'm not really surprised about the Tyrod thing either. But it is good to know that they were really not wanting to have last year's QB situation ever happen again.
Gator writes in, Andrew, congrats on getting that role in the Jersey Shore reboot. Snooki's going to eat you alive.
Yeah, when you were reading the names, I was scrolling up to the comments. I saw that, and I saw Nick T, who hasn't came on here in a while. We had a couple fun Ayuk stuff with him, if you remember. He was talking about the Ayuk stuff, who now, funny enough, wants to get traded. He wrote, Oh, he actually wrote like a couple. He's like dissing me a little, which is chill. He goes, Fialkow's internet like his muscles, all for show but no substance. And then he said something like he would outbench me. So, you know what? Maybe I'll meet up with him. We'll see what he got.
I love it. The third man 3 with a super chat. He cuts the line here on the show. National media is going to blow up and spin the story about Carr wanting to sign with us for less money, but they wanted to wait for AR. Was on the Part of My Take pod. I have not listened to that yet, but I will repeat this until the end of time, regardless what happens this year for the Jets. They made the right move pursuing Aaron Rodgers over Derek Carr. Derek Carr, you're never winning anything with. You're just not. Maybe you're 9-8 and you go to the playoffs and you lose in the wild card round. You're never winning anything of substance with Derek Carr. Yes, Aaron Rodgers is an unknown. He got hurt his first year. I get it. I will take my chance with Aaron Rodgers 10 out of 10 times, 100 out of 100 times. It was not a mistake. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I will take that over paying Derek Carr what he got paid to be painfully mediocre with the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, it's even crazy that's even a topic of discussion. Like, one, that they're on different playing levels, obviously, one, and then two, like, yeah, the fact that we did go for Rodgers means we actually wanted to go and win. If we had Derek Carr and fans were happy about winning 7 to 9 games every year, fine. Rodgers, we actually have a ceiling and we could go and win a Super Bowl. So it's not a discussion in any sense.
Yep. I mean, you got a shot with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, how do I know this? Because people who are in the NFL, coaches, executives, scouts, GMs, they ranked him 8th on the quarterback list. All right. That's how people still feel about Rodgers. Derek Carr was not even an honorable mention on the list.
Yeah, I was going to say there's no chance he was. So, yeah, even though they did put that out with the linebackers, and I guess they forgot the Jets were a team because C.J. Mosley and Quincy Williams did not make the top 10. That was insane to me. But I guess I still don't understand how that's a thing. But, yeah, we'll take Rodgers at 8. I think that's more than fine to evaluate him like that.
Do you hear that?
There we go.
Lane Kerner's in the chat, baby. The Lane train. It was last week when Andrew was on.
Yeah,
Lane surprised us and called in. Shout out to you, Lane. Shout out to you. Here's Nick's comment, by the way. Fialkow's internet, like his muscles, all for show, but no substance.
I don't want to do anything crazy right now, so I'm going to keep my arms where they are.
Give us a little, we don't pump our gas, we pump our fists.
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, if he wants to go bench off, I'll tell him how much I bench, honestly. So he probably benches more than me.
Bethpage Chris writes in, since the morning show, I lacerated my arm and got 10 stitches. To distract myself, I was watching the parts of the show I missed. The doctor was a Jet fan and wants to become an Asmaniac. Let's go. Bethpage Chris, feel better, man. That is a wild story, dude. God. Well, you tell your doctor that if he becomes an official Asmaniac, we will, hook him up with some items in the merch store as a thank you for nursing you back to health. All right. Merch store. It's coming.
Way to get a fan there also. Make a bad story great for the Jake community.
How about that for a spin zone? Love it. All right. We'll get to Davante here in a second. Let me get to this super chat from State of the Art. Can't wait for the merch store drop. Going to pick up a few things we've only been waiting for ... 3 years. I know it's been a while. It was supposed to be last summer and then life got in the way. But if we're going to do it right, that was my big thing. I wanted to do it right. And the items in here are incredible. So everyone's going to enjoy. I will say we don't have a tank top currently. I feel like a Fialkow tank top might be a must for this merch store.
A little Asman tank top would be nice for sure. But it has everything else, really.
Everything. Koozies, coffee mugs, stickers, regular cups, onesies. I sent our guy Johnny a little present for his newborn. That's on the way. Bucket hats. You name it, we will have it. More to come. This is just the initial launch for everyone out there. Wanted to do it ahead of training camp starting Tuesday for the New York Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Davante Adams. If you're just tuning in live, please click the like button and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We're talking, of course, with Andrew Fialkow of JetsXFactor.com. All this started when Davante last week was a guest on Kay Adams' show on YouTube and said that Aaron Rodgers is in his ear trying to recruit him, but he knows I'm a Raider. And then the next day, They found Aaron Rodgers on the golf course in Lake Tahoe, and Rodgers fed into it by saying this.
What's up? Do you think Luke Getsy's going to utilize Davante Adams good in the new Raiders offense?
I love Luke Getsy. He's a fantastic coach.
Awesome.
And I love Davante. I can't wait to play with him again.
Great. Love to hear it.
Yeah.
I wish that reporter, whoever that guy was, TMZ, followed up and said, again, what do you mean? Like, he just completely brushed off that. But I think it's Aaron trolling a little bit. I also think it's Aaron, sending a message to Davante, like, hey, just know we're going to come get you, as soon as we can. Because I've said this. If he's traded, I do think it's to the Jets, but there's no guarantee he's traded. They have to fall out of it, in my opinion. And once again, he would have to be traded once the season starts and we're closer to the deadline. I don't understand this idea that the Jets would acquire him in July or August before the season. I don't see that happening unless, maybe there's a catastrophic injury, knock on every wood in front of you, to Garrett Wilson, and they overpay and they get him. But other than that happening, I don't see Davante being a Jet until at least we get closer to the trade deadline.
I agree. I'm also curious what it would take to get him. I mean, because he has a huge contract he's on. I don't know how it would work with our cap. And then I don't know what they would think he's worth. I would assume a fairly high pick for him. I don't know what you think, honestly. And I'm really curious if there's been any proposals out there and what it said. Would it be a first? Would it be a first and a fourth? Would it be just a second? Especially with his contract, I don't really know how it would be valued by most GMs.
To me, if you're training for him now, don't you have to give up your one? Otherwise, why would the Raiders even consider it? They could hold on to him and they could wait till the trade deadline and probably get a 2, and maybe it's a 2 and a 4, or maybe it's a third that's a conditional pick that can be a 2. But if the Raiders are going to trade him now, why would they trade him unless they're getting at least a first-round pick? And the contract's easy to absorb, and I'm sure they can restructure it and redo it because there's nothing guaranteed after this year. And the Raiders would save a lot of money on their cap if they got rid of him. So if they're out of it, I think they would look to trade him because he's not going to be there next year if they're bad this year. But I say all that to say, I don't see this happening until the games actually are played and the Raiders, who are underdogs in 8 of their first 10 games, are sitting there at 3-6 at the trade deadline, and then they would trade Davante.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes a lot of sense that if they're out of it, why would you keep an asset like that when you could start to rebuild? Look at their roster. They're going to have a QB competition between Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. Now, I'm not high on Aiden O'Connell per se, and Gardner Minshew, we kind of know what he's about. He's a veteran gunslinger. Fine, he's a solid player, nothing special. Very fine chance that they are 3-6, maybe 2-7, and Joe's going to call up. And how do you really say no at that point? Especially, I know the clips of Davante Adams from the wide receiver show on Netflix have been going viral of him being very upset. I do think that Antonio Pierce being hired makes things a little bit different because he seems to really like him. But the GM is the GM. At some point, if you're getting a first when you're 2-7 and it looks like you're having a bad year, you're going to have to take it.
100%. And if you think about it, he was pissed off last year with Jimmy G throwing to him. Then they made Pierce the head coach. They fired everyone. They were 5-4 with Pierce as the interim. They won 8 games. Head-to-head, they beat the Jets. They won more games than the Jets did last year. So what message do you send to your locker room if you trade Davante now in July or August to a team that last year you were better than? What message does that send to the players? That's how players look at it. Obviously, we know the Jets are better than the Raiders if Aaron Rodgers is out there. But the point is, you send a message, you're waving the white flag. They're not going to do that unless the Jets give a Jamal Adams-like offer, 2 1s to get Davante right now.
Completely. So I think it would happen, like you said, at the deadline. I could see it happening. I could also see the Jets saying, if things go well, if Mike Williams, knock on wood, is healthy and Garrett's healthy and Gibson is what everyone says that he is, I could see the Jets not wanting to trade a future asset for Davante. How good it would be, Mike Williams, Davante Adams, Garrett Wilson. I can't even begin to imagine what things that would happen. I don't know. Maybe if the Jets are comfortable with the receivers, they won't do that. Again, I'm all for the trade. I would do it in a heartbeat. Obviously, you don't say no to adding a guy of his caliber ever. But I don't know what Joe's going to think about giving a first away after we didn't have a first. Do we not have a first? We don't have a first next year, so it would be a first in 2026, right?
You're talking about the Jets line of first round picks?
Yeah.
They have all their first round picks going forward.
Oh, okay. The Rodgers one. So the Rodgers one was from last year. It got turned into the second, right?
Correct.
But then there was another pick in the. Is there another pick in the deal?
That's it. Because remember, they traded the
okay.
second round pick in 2023, and then it was supposed to be a second that year, and then a first this year. The first became a second because he didn't play the 65% of the snaps.
Got it. Right. So yeah, I mean, but there's a lot to think about here because I was just talking to my friends about this actually, my Jet friends. We don't really have a future at QB. Like I know we drafted Jordan Travis, but if you're giving away a first round pick, I'm not a huge fan of that because look, Rodgers is going to play next year and maybe the year after. I hope he plays for 2 years. You're going to want to use a first round pick in the next 3 years probably on a quarterback, unless you want to go and do another bridge quarterback, which maybe they'll do that if they think the roster is still able to contend after that. I just don't know if it's going to be worth giving up a pick. Again, I would do it. I'm just going through what Joe Douglas might be thinking.
100%. And I think at the end of the day, if they're in the mix and the Raiders are out, it is very easy to see a deal happening. But the Jets have to hold up their end of the bargain, and the Raiders have to be bad, and they might be. I mean, their schedule is really tough, and their last 3 games before the trade deadline, Rams, Chiefs, Bengals. Like, that could be 3 losses. They could be 3-3 and then be 3-6 in a snap of a finger. Like, it's not going to be easy, but the Texans last year, everyone said they were going to be terrible, and they won a division, went all the way to the divisional round. Like, year to year in the NFL, it's weird. They're not going to give up on their year in July or August. That's the bottom line.
Yes. I think all Jet fans will be watching Raider games more intently than they ever have. I'll be very much hoping they go 0-9 to start the year. So.
Yep, and no doubt. Hit the like button. If you're just tuning in, super chats, we'll cut the line. We'll open up the Gustbuster hotline here in just a bit. I want to get Andrew's thoughts on Hassan Reddick. If you missed it earlier, Tom Pelissero, I can never say Tom's name consistently. Tom Pelissero. There we go. Of the NFL Network was filling in for Rich Eisen. And shout out to Boy Green. Paul in Syracuse called into the show to ask him specifically for an update on Hassan Reddick.
Paul in Syracuse, New York, has been holding with us for like over an hour here. Paul, it's Tom Pelissero. What's going on?
Tommy P. Well, yeah, I guess my question here, Tommy P., is on the Hassan Reddick New York Jets situation. Not a lot of people are talking about it. What's happening? Is he getting a contract extension? Is he getting some sort of a sweetener deal? What's happening with Hassan Reddick and the New York Jets?
It's a good question, Paul. Thanks very much for the call. They've got a few more days here, week or so, before the Jets report to training camp. So we'll see how this plays out. I mean, there's not a lot of situations like this where a team trades for a player who, for the Eagles, this was a salary dump. They needed to get the number off their books because they were going to go out and make other moves, like signing Bryce Huff away from the New York Jets. And so Reddick was moving on because of where his number was. The Jets, it sounds like, believed he was going to come in and play on that deal. Obviously, Hassan Reddick has other ideas. And so a player who has not played a single snap for the team held out from minicamp and ate $100,000 in fines. And if he starts missing days in training camp, the fines increase substantially thereafter. So where does this all land? I don't 100% know at this point. It's hard to imagine Hassan Reddick is not playing with the Jets in September. Is he practicing with the Jets around, let's say July 24th? Maybe not. We'll see. The history of his agent is not having players hold out. There certainly have been some hold-ins. But, again, everybody's got to make their own decisions on that. And this is definitely a different type of situation that the Jets were not really anticipating.
Shout out to Paul in Syracuse, Boy Green, for waiting on hold. You heard him say an hour to get that from Tom. Your thoughts on Reddick, Andrew? Is Hassan Reddick a week from right now on the practice field for the Jets' first practice?
I don't think so. I don't think he will be. I don't know if they get fined for not showing up to practice. Would he be fined for not showing up next week?
He would be, yeah.
He would. I don't know. I just think that he really wants a deal done, and I understand it. I'm not really sure, again, how it fits with our cap situation. I think he wants a deal. I think he wants to be extended. I know he's due to make around $15 million with us this year. I don't know. I would hope Joe Douglas could find a way to do some incentive-laden deal that has a lot of incentives in it for Hassan Reddick, playing time, stats, all that. And kind of like the deals he's been structuring all throughout free agency. They've been really, really team-friendly deals. I would hope that he could get Reddick on something like that, maybe a two-year extension, and then he's there next Tuesday. But it is a bit odd. It's been very, very quiet, like very, very quiet, like almost no reports. I know we're in the quiet period right now, but there's really been nothing said about it.
Look, at the end of the day, he's not going to miss the season. He needs to play to get paid.
No.
So I think they give him some sort of contract where they add some incentives for sacks. Maybe team success is factored in there too. Like, they get something done. Like, there's just no way Hassan Reddick is not playing football for the Jets this year. Now, is he there day one? Maybe, maybe not. But you heard Tom talk about the new fine system. You don't get that money back. So he's going to have to show up at some point. Could he do a hold in? Now, that's the question, right? He shows up and then he says his back hurts him and he can't test a back injury and he's off to the side not doing anything because he wants a new deal. Like, could that happen? I guess maybe. But at the end of the day, I'd be shocked if Reddick is not week 1, Monday night, on the D-line. What the heck is that? On the D-line for the
people in my house. I'm sorry.
For the Jets. You're good. That sounds like a good song.
Yeah. What song was that? No. Okay. Yeah. I think all that matters is he's going to be there week 1. I want as little drama with the Jets during training camp. Like again, knock on wood. I don't want any drama. So let's pay him, make him happy, and as long as he's there week 1, that's all I really care about.
100%. All right, let's open it up. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We've added 5 as maniacs so far in today's show. Shout out to Addison for making it rain with 5 memberships. Today's a good day to turn on gift receipts. If you haven't, we need 190 more channel members for our next emoji. So if someone wants to make it rain, please feel free as we get closer and closer to our next channel emoji. All right, Gusbuster Hotline is open. First up today is a guy who privately messaged me, Jake, can I come on first? I'm very tired. I'm going to bed soon. I just hit a hard wall. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know who that one person is. I mean, I'm just going to play it. It's Bobby Midnight.
Well, you know, I'm getting really freaking pissed. I thought I saw Gary's pretty wife. I need to get some sleep. I'm Bobby. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate it. I am dead to the world. Hi, Andrew. I wanted to come on and say hi to you, too. Anyone
good to see you, Bobby.
I say hello to you.
Now, Bobby, can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
I love when you call. You're a big part of the show. But you don't need to call every show. If you're tired, if you've hit a wall, you can just take a nap. Andrew will be on next week.
Yeah, but I wanted to say hi. I miss Andrew.
But you could say hi next week. Nothing's going to change.
Well, I like Andrew's smile, and I like to say hi to him.
All right.
Yeah,
I appreciate you, Bobby.
Cool. I'm just tired. Look at me. I'm dead tired, man.
You look exhausted. I feel bad you stayed up.
Yeah, I'm going to be sleeping for like 12 hours, I think.
That's good.
I could do 12 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go take a nap, Bobby.
I'm going to take a sleep. I'm going to sleep.
You're going to sleep for the day.
Yep.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I never want to hear that, you know, you're fine. You got 8 hours of sleep or 6 hours. You need a complete reset. These shows that are 12 hours long are destroying your health.
Yeah. I can't. I am hitting the wall right now.
This is what I'm saying. You shouldn't be hitting a wall at 5:45 p.m. on a Wednesday. There's something off with your body because of all the streaming you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I want to say good night to everybody in the chat. Good night, everybody in the chat.
All right, Bobby. Get some rest.
Okay.
Well, you know, I have my own YouTube show. If I'm awake, I'm going live. Ballistic has a show. Bobby.
I'm telling you, Andrew, he needs to just take a break from the 12-hour streams. Do an hour or 2 here or there, right? You don't need to do 4 to 8 per stream. It adds up to 16-hour streams.
Staring at a screen also the entire day. He's probably like so fried. I can't imagine. So I think he gave him some good advice.
Man. I mean, that was something. Ladies and gentlemen, a real-life superhero is on the line. Iron Man is up next. Hello, Tony Stark.
What up, Jake?
What's up, Tony?
Man, listen, I first of all, I got a comment about the Three Stooges that's on whatever that show is. Nick is Mo. Wiles, who make all the faces and the noises. Curly and Broussard is Larry. Now, Nick acts like that the Chiefs has been this just historically winning franchise for so long. They were the Jets until Patrick Mahomes basically landed in their lap.
Facts.
I just want to start off with that. Okay, as far as the Breece Hall thing, okay, I bet you right now that Shanahan would trade player for player Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey, who's awesome. Don't get me wrong. He would trade them two right now for Aaron Rodgers and Breece Hall. Do you agree with that?
Well, it's interesting because you got to factor in Rodgers' age, right? That'd be the only thing. Now, who do you want for one game?
Rodgers is going to take care of everything at the line, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that to say that Kyle does a great job in scheming Christian McCaffrey open. Could you imagine if he had Breece Hall? I'm so glad we got him. That would be sick. And I'm not gonna hold up your time. Last but not least, Jake, let me introduce you to the Jetmobile, man.
Now, wow,
Jetmobile.
Look at that.
Hey, Andrew, great breaking down film, man. Y'all already know, man. JETS. I just want to call in, Jake. It's been a while.
Tony,
Appreciate you,
great
man.
call, man. Great call.
Awesome.
I told you, real life superhero. Look, here's the thing. Like, obviously, they wouldn't make that trade now with Rodgers being the age he is. But I can promise you, if there's one game to win, I think Shanahan would probably take Rodgers and Breece Hall over McCaffrey and Purdy. One game, and he gets Aaron Rodgers. Like, Purdy wasn't the reason why they didn't win the Super Bowl, but they might have won it if they had Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I think you're going one game. Obviously, right now you're going to take Rodgers over Purdy.
Javier says Andrew looks like a camp counselor from summer camp movies of the 80s.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I'll take it.
Well, the thing is, you look like a camp counselor in 2024. There's literally no difference.
Right. I don't know what type of fits they were wearing back then.
They were wearing tank tops and backwards hats. It's the same fit today.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Luppy says, put the call in the chat. Luppy, it's pinned up top. So it's very easy to just click that link and you'll be on the show. More calls right now. Joe the Jet is up next. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Jake. I have a little nickname for good old Nick Wright. You want to know what that is?
Nick Wrong?
Nick Wrong? No, it's Pinocchio. Because every time he talks about the Jets, his nose gets a little bit longer every time we watch him. You know what I mean? It's just like the Breece Hall stuff, dude. Come on. He's a good running back. Dude. I mean,
they have one elite weapon. Like, that's just downright absurd.
And everybody's like, here's the thing. Like, and most of the coaches, they voted Breece Hall to be the number 2 running back in the league right behind Christian McCaffrey. So, I mean, if we're looking at the facts, Breece Hall is like the second best running back in the league. So I don't know how he would come down to that conclusion that he's a good running back. He's a spectacular running back. That's my definition of Breece Hall. But honestly, we're all getting going for training camp, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to see Rodgers sling it and prove these talking heads wrong, man, because the more we talk about this it feels like every single day there's just people just doubting us and just doubting this team. And we know that this team is just they're good enough. They're good enough to make the playoffs. They're good enough to even win a playoff game. I just don't get why people are just hating on them just way too much. You know what I mean?
It's easy. It's the Jets. They have a huge following. You go viral when you do it. Chances are, in the past, you've been right if you think the Jets are going to be bad. Because guess what? They have the longest playoff drought in sports. And also, so much of the criticism and hate they get is because of the inherent bias that exists because of Aaron Rodgers that has nothing to do with football things.
Yeah, no, it's just it just gets so annoying sometimes, where people are just analyzing more politics instead of football, it sucks, but I actually have an opinion that I actually want to address to you about, I know this is going to be a little bit of a crazy sort of talking point, to talk about it right now. What do you think about the future of the quarterback position, to be specifically? in the 2025 NFL draft, would you consider taking a quarterback at all? Maybe, because I've been looking at 2025 draft boards. And I know that's crazy to think about now, but I've been sort of looking at 2025 draft boards, and I honestly think the quarterback class going into the next year is a pretty underrated one in my eyes. So what do you think about that, Jake?
I haven't done enough homework on the quarterbacks for next year, and I'll defer to guys like Andrew for all that, Joe. Good call. But to answer your question, if the Jets love a quarterback in the 2025 draft, then yeah, they absolutely should strongly consider taking that guy. I know they took Jordan Travis, but he's a developmental guy. You have no idea if he's ever going to see the field for you. You took him in the 5th round. Next year would be the year. If Rodgers is going to play at least one more year after this year, you give that guy a full year sitting behind him. Yeah, it would make sense next year to go quarterback if there's someone you like.
Yeah, and I'm actually surprised you said it's a good draft. I've been seeing a lot of negativity around the quarterbacks for next year, but I promise you, by the time we get to next year, the quarterbacks will be going in the top 5 probably like they did this year. The momentum just only gets greater and greater as you get closer to the draft with the quarterbacks. But I definitely think it could be something the Jets could look into. But you probably don't have a good pick if you think the season goes how it should.
Yeah, and that's why you could do what the Packers did with Love, right? End of the 1st round, they took their guy. I mean, if there's someone you like and that guy could sit. I mean, the last time the Jets actually had a quarterback sit for multiple years or even just a year, go back to Pennington. He sat for 3 years, and look what he did. That's not going to happen nowadays. That doesn't happen. But if he sat for a year and then took over, nothing wrong with that.
Yep. Did Geno have any time, or did he just sit when his jaw broken? I remember. But did we start him right away?
Yep, because Sanchez got hurt in the Snoopy Bowl because Rex played him.
Oh, right. Yep. Crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, some stats about Breece Hall. Andrew sent me this. I did see this on Twitter the other day from Warren Sharp. Warren Sharp, Breece Hall, 2 seasons have come behind the number 30th offensive line in 2022, number 29 offensive line in 2023 in run block win rate, the number 31 and number 31 offensive line injury rate the last 2 years, the worst collective quarterback room in football, his torn ACL, meniscus, and rehab, plus hamstring and ankle injuries, yet he gained the number 2 most total yards behind only CMC. The last 2 years, his per-game net yardage ranks number 6 among RBs. He averaged the number 4 highest rate of 15-plus yard gains and number 5 highest rate of 20-plus yard gains. And each game, he averaged 2.75 gains of 10-plus yards. Number 3, best in the NFL behind only CMC and Nick Chubb. Needless to say, you read all that, it tells you, Nick Wright, Breece Hall is not good. He is a superstar. Shut your mouth. You don't know anything about the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like the reason why I love this tweet so much because it gives you context. He was in the worst quarterback room in the NFL. The O-line has been historically injured. We have not been able to keep the same 5 on the field for him at any time. And obviously the O-line run blocking win rate has been putrid. It's not even like average. And he's still been able to produce pretty well, like with these horrible situations around him. So if you think that he was just good now, wait until you put him behind with Rodgers, with a revamped O-line and more than one weapon, because we have Garrett Wilson, I'm getting ahead of myself, Mike Williams, and either Xavier Gibson or Malachi Corley playing slot. Watch out, because Breece is going to have a huge year. And I'm not going to say and then like it'll be like, oh, screw you, Nick Wright. Like, I don't really care, because Breece is going to help us win football. That's all that matters.
100%. This is a weird comment here from Javier. Debunk Nick's other points, not just Breece Hall's. Go rewind to the beginning of the video where we completely torched point by point he made, if you want that. And then Javier, I guess, is a Nick Wright truther. Nick spoke facts except when he called Hall good. He did not speak facts. He did not speak facts.
Would anyone come on? Would Javier come on and tell us why he thought he spoke facts? I'm actually curious. I wonder if
he would not. Javier, you cut the line if you call in with your points on how Nick Wright spoke facts with that incoherent, biased horse crap of a rant, please. Let's see. The big fella, Andrew must have a great fake to get into DJ's.
DJ's in Jersey, right? I've never been there. But
yeah, Jersey Shore.
Is it? Yeah. Yeah, I've never been.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike D's Nuts has chimed in with a super chat. If we're talking about a quarterback next year, then the season was a failure. F them picks. Honestly, in my opinion, win it all, baby. Well, we could talk about quarterback next year if they win the Super Bowl and it's pick 32, right? Like maybe Rodgers retires, or maybe he's coming back for one more year to try and run it back. And then who knows after that? Like the Jets have a 40-year-old at quarterback. They always got to be thinking about that position. It's the most important position in all sports. That said, they're all in for this year. You're 100% right, Mike. And you just have to be careful about trading that first rounder right now. I don't think they're going to do it, but you want to have that first rounder just in case something goes wrong, or just in case maybe there is a quarterback that's a developmental guy with a lot of talent that could sit behind Aaron for a year. Like that's what you're looking at here. No one's saying let's tank for a quarterback now. It's just you have to always be thinking about your options at quarterback when your quarterback is 40 years old.
Yeah, I don't think in any way if we're talking about drafting a quarterback, the season's a failure. Kind of has nothing to do with this season. The fact of the matter is Rodgers is playing 1 or 2 more years. So after that, we're going to need a quarterback. It's not going to be Tyrod Taylor on a deal. And I mean, God willing, Jordan Travis has a time to sit in this great quarterback room and become something. I mean, you would hope, but it's definitely something you have to consider.
100%. We also have to consider when Mike D's Nuts is going to drop more memberships for the people, so we could play this. D's Nuts. Now, I have to show this off to you, Andrew, because you can't see it because of Mike's comment here, but this is what's going to happen when Mike gifts memberships. D's Nuts. Little Jets trivia. Who is the person in the background saying D's Nuts to try and throw off Aaron Rodgers?
Is that that's from Hard Knocks?
It's from Hard Knocks last summer.
Oh, yep. I know who it is. It's Hackett. I didn't look at the chat if someone said it already.
Yep.
It's Hackett.
Right? Nailed it.
Yeah.
Carly writes in, Andrew bought stuff from the merch store. Will you guys?
I think everyone will. I think a lot of people will. I mean, again, really like a ton of great stuff, but that's for everyone to see.
The merch store launches Tuesday, July 23rd. But it launches Saturday if you're a Patreon member. And if you're friends and family like Fialkow, you already got a chance to buy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what you bought. I'm going to pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up. I might be worried I'm not trying to even push people to join the Patreon, but I don't know. Things could get sold out, right?
Yep, that's true.
So early access, go get it.
All right, Andrew bought in white a Jake Asman Show unisex crew neck sweatshirt, a unisex hoodie, white Jake Asman Show logo, white t-shirt with the Jake Asman Show logo, and then a crew neck sweatshirt with the Asmaniac logo in white. Tremendous.
So the best part about that, Jake, I was with my mom actually before, and she knows everything. She watches the show, huge Jet fan. She was like, she was going through the merch store. She's like, oh, we got to get this. And she like helped me do the order. So one of the shirts is for her. There's a sweatshirt for me. There's a shirt for my sister and a shirt for my uncle. So we got a lot of people that will be wearing it all around.
JakeAsman.com/shop. Get ready, baby. It's all coming. Oscar the Grouch says, I need a hoodie, a hat, and that iced coffee cup. Do Grouches drink coffee? Oscar wants to know how long shipments take. It depends on how long you want it to take. There's a bunch of shipping options. Let's see. Ricky says we have a quarterback to develop. We do, but that is not a sure thing, right? There's a reason why Jordan Travis was a 5th-round pick.
Right.
Peter Castro, Davante, waste of time and money. We don't need him. He's been on this the last couple of days. It's just not true.
Boy.
You, of course, could use him, Peter. Do they need him this second for a first? No. But you mean to tell me if they could get Davante for 2/3 at the deadline, if the Jets are 6-3 and he's the missing piece, you wouldn't do it then? Obviously you would.
Yeah. I wouldn't say waste of time. I think we'd have the best receiving core in the NFL, like hands down, if healthy with him. And he's still a top 10 guy. He still really produces. And if you watch any of the games, like you saw the Jet game with him last year, he still dictates coverages. Like imagine Garrett not dictating coverages, meaning Garrett having a lot of one-on-one opportunities because Davante has the safety shaded over him, or the coverages are just dictated to him more. Like, you can't have enough good talent, and you can't have enough good receivers on a team. He would be an unbelievable fit on the team. I mean,
Do you ever?
That's no doubt.
Yeah. Do you ever read a comment though from Peter, and you read it in his voice?
Is he? I don't know if I know who Peter is.
Oh, you know who Peter is. You know who he is. He's the great Peter Castro.
All coaching staff stinks. The team is never prepared. They're undisciplined. They make a million mistakes. And the coaching staff is terrible. He doesn't know what he's doing. Hackett and him are like having two drug addicts on the sidelines. They're no good. And if Rodgers doesn't fix this, we're all going to kill ourselves. What happens after Rodgers? They have no plan for that. It's going to be 10 more years of being a shit.
I didn't know that was him. I did not know that was him.
Peter Castro, man. One of the all-time greats. All right, more calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is Jerome, the Packer fan. Hello, Jerome.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all feel? I'm about to be I'm already an asthmatic. I'm already an asthmatic, my friend. I see the merch. I'm gonna need that bucket hat, and I'm gonna need that white asthmaniac hat, baseball cap.
Let's go.
In any case, but yeah, man. What Andrew, what you were saying earlier about taking Rodgers over Derek Carr? Yeah, of course you take Rodgers over Derek Carr. 10 times out of 10, you take him out of there. I mean, that's just a no-brainer. And as I was explaining to Jake last time we spoke, you guys have Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is good to get you guys in the playoff. As Packer fans, we knew we were in the playoffs every year with Rodgers.
Right.
Even the years, the one year where he came with that relax. Y'all remember that? When he ran off 6 straight and got in at 10-6. Then it was another year that I was telling Jake that time. Well, we didn't get there. The Vikings had won that year, but that's because Anthony Barr did a dirty move on Rodgers.
Yeah.
And they broke his collarbone. At that right. There you go, Jake. Right. At that point, Andrew, the Packers was 5-1 at that time. Yeah. We'd have won the division that year had that not happened. So Rodgers is a guy that you guys can depend on to get you to the playoffs. Long as he's healthy, long as he's upright. If you can get Davante, get him. But I'd hold on given the Jets' fortunes over the years, I'd hold on to that number one for dear life. Because you never know what you may need. Anything can happen. You know, you may need to spend it on someone has an injury or some other unforeseen mishap happens. You want to kind of wait. I do believe Davante will be a Jet because I don't see the Raiders being good this year, given their schedule. And so you guys, and then you got all the naysayers. They still talking. It is my wish that you guys come out and somehow upset the Niners. That'll shut everything up. That'll shut everybody up. Then they'll know you're serious. You guys won't hear a peep out of nobody for the rest of the season because having shored up everything. I mean, if you get Davante, that puts y'all in the AFC Championship because y'all have no weaknesses nowhere else. And Breece is gonna eat. They can't stock the box because they have to respect the fact that Rodgers back there now. And so if they want to do that, he's gonna kill you over the top. Rodgers is gonna be so giddy because he's going to use Breece like how we used to use Aaron Jones. Jet sweeps, jet motions, screens. We're gonna line him up any kind of way. It's just so much Aaron is gonna play with. It's gonna be like a video game. And then you got Davante and Malachi and Garrett Wilson cutting across or whatnot. It's gonna be a nightmare for defenses. And so you guys should coast. Y'all will get the 14-3. And I just want to see you guys throw it back in their face. I want y'all to be so insufferable because I just, and Nick Wright, he just, Kansas City, without Mahomes is another Rodgers, actually. He's just a little more, Rodgers is a little bit more better with the ball than Mahomes. Mahomes get careless with that ball. So I don't know what Nick Wright is talking about his thing, his love affair with the Kansas City Chiefs. They could be.
Uh-oh. Jerome, we were losing you there, but good call. Yeah, I mean, I forget which caller said it. The Chiefs were the Jets before Mahomes. Let's not forget that. They won Super Bowl IV, hadn't been back since, hadn't won since. Jets won Super Bowl III, haven't been back since. Very similar franchises.
Yeah. He's a great caller. He makes so many good points. I was going to touch on one of them from the beginning. I think it's so funny to think about the last time Rodgers played, they had a game to win to get into the playoffs. Like, I feel like everyone thinks that year they won like 4 games. Like, they were 1 game away from making the playoffs. And for some reason, everyone's like, since they didn't make the playoffs, it's like, oh, we had the worst year ever. I was just remembering that. And I think that's also something that everyone just overstates and that maybe they forget about it. But 1 game away from the playoffs he was with his very down year. So take that as you may.
Yeah, down year, top 10 in passing yards, touchdowns thrown.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a broken thumb in his throwing hand. Like, all I need to do is tell Jet fans, remember what it was like to root for Aaron Rodgers for that full game when the Packers played the Dolphins and the Jets were still alive going into the Seattle game.
Oh, yeah.
Later that week on Christmas Day, if Rodgers beat Miami. So the Packers won that game and the Jets were alive going to Seattle. And they got Mike White back, and we had false hope because he was still actually injured and they got crushed. But, like, remember, like, we watched Rodgers that day as if, like, we were watching him as the Jet quarterback, because the Jets season was on the line that day in Rodgers' hands, and he balled out against Miami that day and made some unbelievable plays in that one, and that was in his quote-unquote down year. Now he's on a much better team, so let's not forget that. Also, Jerome, I know you wanted the bucket hat. Here's the one in white. All right, you were driving, so I don't know if you saw it, but if you do see this, this is for you in the merch store, my man. Can't wait. All right, Mike D's nuts with a super chat. Dano has the best comments. LOL him and Tom Ace. We got some great commenters. I'll tell you what. Tom Ace, pound for pound, might be the wittiest commenter we have. And what's funny is Dano calls in. Tom has not called in once. He never calls in. Tom, what's it going to take for you to show your face and call in one of these days?
You know, Jake, that's so when that happens, that's so crazy to me because I'm like, they're always in the chat. I've asked you about someone else too. I think I kind of forget who. There's always people in the chat. Just call in and say what up. I feel like they would be happy to talk to you, especially.
Yeah, it's so funny to me. Andrew, you got time for one more call before we let you run?
Yeah, for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is someone who's a big fan of Andrew's, Gary, down in Fort Worth. Hello, Gary.
I am a big fan of Andrews. That is a factual statement.
I know. I looked at Gary. I was looking out for you. I made sure that Andrew stayed on to take your call.
And it was like, yeah, that was one thing I want to say. When you were like, you said, I don't want to say that Nick Wright doesn't know ball. No, just say it. Right? Do you think Nick Wright could do what you do on chopping up the tape? Do you think he could break down tape like you do?
No.
No, he'd be clueless. So say he doesn't know ball. Like they're not afraid to do it to Skip Bayless, right? Like Mark Cuban did it. Roger Mayweather did it with Skip Bayless. Like everyone's okay with embarrassing Skip Bayless. Embarrass Nick Wright. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know ball. So we need people like you to expose that. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Right.
And
agreed.
Like when I called you and I said, here's why I think I have a 3rd round grade on Caleb, right? I think he holds on to the ball too long. He's fumbled 32 times. Downfield, his accuracy really drops off. His stats drop off in big games. I've given you X, Y, and Z. The only thing he gave you was he's not good. Why is he not good? He has no idea, right? Like he didn't give you any reasons why he said that. So it's like if I just called in and said Tom Brady's not a very good quarterback, it's like, all right, well, that's like at the end of the conversation. I'm not going to take you serious at this point, and that's kind of the way I feel about Nick Wright. And so you should call him. Now, the other point I wanted to make was this is Aaron Rodgers' last season, and I'll explain why. because the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl. And once you win the Super Bowl, go to the Jets and win the Super Bowl. What else is there to do? Right? This is like when Marquez knocked out Pacquiao cold and killed him, right? Put him out to sleep. And then he came back and lost to Bradley. Why? Just walk away forever. You're done. You have nothing left to prove. I just put Pacquiao to sleep. It's over. The rivalry is complete. I win. My career is over. So when Rodgers wins the Super Bowl, I went to the Jets, the friggin' Jets, and won a Super Bowl. I'm done. Mic drop. See in the Hall of Fame. No reason for him to come back. So this is Rodgers' last year.
Gary, you becoming this beam of positivity. When I first started on the Jake show, I don't know if you remember, I guess it was really because that little boy was making everyone go crazy and everyone was having all these thoughts. But everyone was like, oh, Gary's so negative. And now we're winning the Super Bowl next year. I mean, progressively things have gotten better with the positive outlook.
I think Zach Wilson sucks, and so does everyone else now. And I think Joe Douglas sucks. And that was it. Like the only Jet every Jet fan has to blame someone for all this losing.
Yeah.
I blame Joe Douglas.
Like, I can't. I can't.
I opened the can. I opened the can of worms that I didn't mean to open.
Like this now with Reddick, with Reddick, like he traded for a player who's going to hold out. Like, you can't make this up. Like, really? Joe, you traded for a player who's going to hold out.
Okay, and when Hassan Reddick wins multiple games for the Jets this year, I want you to call in and then kiss Joe Douglas's feet on the air, okay? I'll put in a request with the Jets for that.
I never said Reddick was a bad player. I never said he was a bad player.
Do you think that we had a good offseason?
Yeah, no. Yeah. Thanks to Aaron Rodgers, we had a terrific offseason.
I mean, obviously they want to come play with him for sure. But Joe is the one making the deals, and there are a lot of team-friendly deals, honestly. I thought he had a great offseason.
If Rodgers isn't here, does Mike Williams come here? Be honest.
It depends on who our quarterback is, obviously.
Who acquired Aaron Rodgers?
Joe Douglas. I know what Gary's going to say.
Oh, here we go. I'm not. I goodbye. I can't do it. I can't do it. Nope.
I knew what Gary was going to say.
You know, Andrew, I'm going to let you go, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to replay the argument.
Jake.
Yep.
BMAC Road, can you get me out with Andrew? So I'm down to if you want to hang around, I can hang around.
All right, if you got time, ladies and gentlemen, BMAC dying to come on with Andrew as well. Hello, BMAC.
Hey, guys. Andrew, I really enjoyed your film breakdown of Rodgers' 2022 season. That was amazing. You know, his quote unquote down year. And you know what? It's funny because Nick Wright is a big Chiefs fan, right? Loves Patrick Mahomes, right? Patrick Mahomes go check out Patrick Mahomes' numbers last year. It was identical to Rodgers' numbers in 2022. But the difference is that Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl. If Patrick Mahomes put up those same statistics last year, and the Chiefs lose in the wild card round, everybody in Nick Wright will be having that same exact narrative.
Wait, so what's is that a question? Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, can you just repeat the question?
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes puts up the exact same stats he did last year, but the Chiefs don't win the Super Bowl. Like they lose in the wild card round. With it's Nick Wright and the rest of people will have that same exact narrative that Patrick Mahomes is done. You know, Patrick Mahomes peaked. You know what I mean? Like where they say the same thing.
Like BMAC, it's funny. I think the shows would like talk about it in that way, but they'd be completely wrong. I mean, Mahomes is the best quarterback of our generation, I think, besides like most talented. And he's already won 2 Super Bowls. So, yeah, if they lost in the wild card round and he had a quote-unquote down year, people would come out and say, is Mahomes still the GOAT? I mean, is he still the best quarterback in the NFL? Of course. Just to have headlines. They'd all be baseless and wrong, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, and now if Rodgers now – there's one question I want to ask you too, because I see people confused with elite and average. I still think Rodgers can be elite. I mean, he's definitely capable of being elite. But if he's average, like that's still good enough, for y'all to go far, right? But I think Rodgers is still elite. Do you think he's gonna be elite this year?
Like I said, and like we were talking about before, it's kind of hard to really evaluate what he's going to be. But what we've said as Jet fans forever, I mean, not forever, the past 2 years, oh my God, if we had an average quarterback, we'd easily make the playoffs. Now, Rodgers is simple to me. His brain's there, his arm is there. That's all I've always cared about. And that's what I've said to you many times, Jake. His arm's not going away, and his brain's not going away. So he will be above average. I'm certain of that.
Look, the bottom line to me with Rodgers is this: if he's above average, they're a playoff team. If he's top 10, they can win the division. If he's number 8, like ESPN executives ranked him, or not ESPN executives, the list ESPN put out where they spoke with coaches, executives, GMs, scouts, etc., they're a Super Bowl contender. Like, that's the roster. Yep. Brock Purdy was just in the Super Bowl. He was an honorable mention on that list. The Jets have arguably the most talented roster in the AFC. It's right in the conversation.
Completely agree. And like you said, the floor is fine to me because I think Rodgers' worst season possible that he could have this year, we will still make the playoffs. I don't ever see him being bad. He's never been bad. In 2022, it wasn't as bad as everyone's making it seem. We made the excuses, but the excuses are context is key in every situation. And I mean, just bring me September 9th. I need it so bad. I know all Jet fans need it. It's July 17th, but man,
yep. I can't listen to BMAC be mad about Aaron Rodgers takes anymore by those of the national media. It's driving him crazy. I can't do it anymore. Andrew, you're the best. Appreciate you. Enjoy the Hamptons or the Jersey Shore, wherever you might be. Pump your fist hard for us. And shout out to you for being the first customer in the merch store. I love it.
Yep. Got it. Everyone tap in, buy the stuff. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Thank you, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Andrew Fialkow. We'll get back to film reviews with him as we get closer and closer to the season. But today, a little state of the Jets, and certainly have him hit on the absurd Nick Wright rant we played at the beginning of the show. The big fella with a super chat. Nick Wright, a.k.a. the Glizzy Gobbler, is the worst sports pundit on TV. Sports Snape needs to lay off the crack with his takes. Now that is a scathing super chat. I'll never insult someone's looks or appearances, but when it comes to sports opinions on the Jets, he has zero credibility. And I've said this. It is all stemming from the fact he hates Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers didn't get the vaccine. Aaron Rodgers doesn't agree with Nick politically. That's where it all comes from. Tell me I'm wrong. Go look at his history and what he said about Rodgers. And you tell me it's not personal? Please. That's why I put no stock in it. When you say things like Breece Hall is a good running back, and try and downplay him, and then you have no factual evidence to support your claims, you just come across as biased. Luppy writes in. Luppy, you were trying to call in before. I guess you haven't figured out how to do it. It's pinned in the comments, my friend. Allen said if the Jets win the Super Bowl, they should fire Saleh and JD. I know you're kidding, but that probably is not that far off. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We've added 5 memberships so far this show. It came before the show even started. Addison came through for the people. Reminder, episode 4 of the Best of the Jake Asman Show is out now, so you can watch that if you are a channel member. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. Rob Basil is on the line. What's up, Rob?
What's up, Jake, my redheaded brother? How you doing?
What's going on, Rob? How are you?
Good, man. Good. First of all, Andrew is an awesome guy. His film breakdown's great. And Nick Wright is the biggest idiot I've ever heard or seen in my entire life. The dude doesn't watch football. He's the most biased news reporter I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, he's not a reporter.
And first of all, whatever he is, he's the most biased one I've ever seen. And for his take on Breece Hall, I almost slammed my head off my desk at work. That was the worst take I've ever seen. And love the Asmaniacs. Jake, have a good one. Thank you. See you later.
Rob, great call. I don't know. I don't know if I approve of this right here. Carly just wrote, and I'll make a deal if we hit 50 memberships during the show. I'll open up the shop for 30 minutes tonight. Wait a second. Actually making 100 memberships. I'll tell you what, we get 100 memberships. Deal. We got 5 so far, Carly. I don't think we're getting 100. I would have to pull a Bobby and do a 24-hour stream. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is someone who earlier divulged key ingredients in his mother's chicken soup recipe. If you missed the first show, you missed a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Gorman joins us now. Hello, Charles.
Hey, Jake. How are you?
Charles, I'm good. We need more information, though.
First, I got to ask you about the shop first. Try to put in the password Patreon. It's not working.
That's not the password.
Is it asmaniac15?
That's not the password, Charles. You're putting in incorrect information. And also, it's not live yet. That's why none of this stuff that you think is the password, which neither one is the password to get to the site. That's why it's not working.
Oh, my bad.
The password's actually Chicken Soup 2024. Rick got it right.
It's not working.
Make sure you put all caps for Chicken Soup 2024.
I did put it in all caps.
It's actually all lowercase then.
It's not working, Jake. I don't know what the hell it is.
You know what? My merch person just told me they changed the password again. Let me get it for you.
Anyway. Okay.
What's happening there, Charles?
My mother's talking to me. Anyway,
ask her for the soup recipe.
She's not in the mood right now. She's talking to my dad. Anyways, I wanted to say I want to get a little I want to add into a little what Mr. Tony Stark said about Patrick Mahomes landing to the Chiefs' lap. He also forgot one key ingredient to their success. You want to know who it is?
Did you say key ingredient? Are you trolling?
No. Maybe.
By the way, the password is Dennis Gorman if you want to try that.
Very funny. Anyway.
Okay, well, you're not getting any merch if you don't put that password in.
Is it all caps lock?
It's Dennis is all caps, Gorman is all lowercase.
It's not working.
You know what? We might be having tech issues. Check in with me later.
Okay, anyway. He also forgot the one other person responsible for the Chiefs' success.
The key ingredient.
Yeah. The head coach, Andy Reid.
Oh, yeah.
Since Andy Reid's been the head coach, they have not had a losing season. And let's not forget, Patrick Mahomes didn't start his rookie year. It was Alex Smith. He sat and learned behind Alex Smith and Andy Reid. I was going to say Patrick Mahomes like an idiot. But he learned from those guys, and that helped him propel to being the excellent quarterback that he is today. Yeah, it was incredible that he landed in their lap, but it's not like he was great from the get-go. Patrick Mahomes was a very good player in college. But he was a very...
Hey, I just got off the phone with my merch guy. It's a chicken soup for life. Try that, all caps.
Okay. It's not working either.
Are you serious? I'm going to have to fire this guy.
Is there an exclamation point after it?
No, it's just all caps, no exclamation point.
Chicken is spelled? Is it chicken soup with the full name, or is it with like nicknames and stuff?
How do you spell bleh?
I'm trying to say something without making myself look like an idiot.
I think you're typing too fast. Slow down.
No. Say, please try again.
This is unbelievable. All right. Well, message me on the Discord later, and I'll get you in there when I figure this out.
Okay, no problem. Anyways, I mean, look, Patrick Mahomes obviously is a huge part of their success, but so is Andy Reid. You know, look, I know you're probably going to hate me for saying this, but look at the Patriots' 20 years of dominance. It wasn't just all Tom Brady. It wasn't just all Bill Belichick. It was both of those men. Both of those men had a huge contribution to the Patriots' dominance for over 20 years.
You're right.
I mean, I'm not saying Tony Stark was completely wrong. He forgot the one other person. Plus, let's not forget, Andy Reid was a great coach in Philadelphia. The problem is he had a quarterback to try to pull a Joe Namath and Ken Stabler trying to get wasted the night before, and he played like crap in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, I mean, obviously, I think is I know this may sound like a controversial opinion, but of all the quarterbacks he's coached, Andy Reid, that includes Brett Favre when he was the quarterback coach in Green Bay in the 90s. I think Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback Andy Reid has ever coached.
I would agree.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And even though Michael Vick had some good moments, one or two good years under Andy Reid, he's not Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes
he's the secret ingredient.
Yes, he's the secret ingredient.
Right.
No, hold on. I didn't say he played like crap in the Super Bowl. Can you post that guy? Can you post that guy's name? I didn't say Namath played like crap. I said McNabb played like crap. Namath was known for drinking, chewing tobacco and partying the night before. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I meant.
Charles, try one more password if you can. Let me know when you're ready.
What's the password?
All caps. I want WANT chicken soup.
So please try again.
God damn. I'm sorry, man.
Don't worry about it, Jake. You know what? I'll probably come on another time, okay? Don't worry about it.
All right. Message me later and we'll get you in there.
Anyways, and I know I haven't done this in a while, but spoiler alert, shameless self promo here.
Here we go.
I'm going to be doing a Wolverine related, since Deadpool and Wolverine movie is since Deadpool and Wolverine's coming out next week, I decided to do somewhat of a Wolverine marathon on my channel. And tonight I am going to review this. So for those of you who want to stay tuned for my channel and review it and watch me review it, please, my YouTube channel is Charles Gorman, which is my name, which is obviously my name here. This is a comic I'm going to review the Wolverine 4-issue comic series, which was written in 1982, written by the legendary Chris Claremont and drawn by the talented yet eccentric Frank Miller.
Did you just fart?
No, I didn't fart. Oh, come on, Jake.
That sounded like a fart before.
Yeah. Yes, HBK, that is the first Wolverine limited series. This was Wolverine's first ever limited series. This would help contribute to his massive popularity among comic fans. Is that new work for Miller? Rick Kent? No, this is his old work. This was written in 1982. I got the graphic novel about a year or two so ago from my local Barnes & Noble. I've been wanting to read this one for years. And it's funny enough, here's an interesting fact. Hugh Jackman, while he was on the set of the sorry-ass X-Men Origins Wolverine movie in 2009, he was reading this in his trailer, so he said to his agent, I want the next Wolverine movie to be based on this bad boy.
Charles, suggestion for you, right?
Yeah.
You're a wealth of knowledge with this stuff. Tease
Yes.
it and then save the good stuff for your show so people want to hear more. You just gave everything away.
Yeah, but I didn't tell you what the story's about. I'm going to save that for my review.
All right. I stand corrected.
But anyway, hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you guys want to, and I even recommend our female viewers.
Oh,
that's why I have no female subscribers on my channel.
How do you know?
Sausage fest up in here. If you guys don't get the joke, I have no female viewers. Not female viewers. I have no female subscribers. So if you're a hardcore badass comic chick, you're more than welcome to subscribe to my channel.
All right. Well, Charles, thank you. And I just got another password sent to me. If you want to try it,
Don't worry about it. I'll do it another time.
All right.
Peace out, Jake.
You got it, Charles. Thank you very much. Sorry we couldn't get him in the merch store. God. Ladies and gentlemen, by my math, we're 85 memberships away from the store actually opening up for 30 minutes tonight. Rob Basil just dropped a 10 spot. 10 channel memberships.
Show me the money. Show me the money! Money.
There you go. All right, here we go. If you hear your name called, you're a channel member. Slick with the Kicks, TV Mark Francis, Scuba Diver, TJ, Tim Taynisher, David Gans. You guys are all officially channel members. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 85 more members. The store opens for 30 minutes. The problem is we don't got much time left. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Fialkow just dropping a 5 spot. Are you kidding me? He's going full D's nuts on us.
D's nuts.
Free stuff.
Wow, I have never seen this before. Andrew Fialkow just gifted Andrew Fialkow his own channel membership. Oh my God. First, Andrew Fialkow was gifted a membership by Andrew Fialkow, Rick Gordon, Jacob McIntosh, Keeping It Real, Who Dat Sports Podcast, and fellow Rouser, all officially channel members. All right, we've added 20. Carly said 100, so that means we need 80 more. Wow, that's hilarious. Shout out to Fialkow. First customer and first person to ever gift themselves their own channel membership on the same day. Now Andrew's firing off all the emojis in the chat. I love it. That's great. That is great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a couple more here, and then we will wrap. Let's go to our guy Dre, who's on the line. Hello, Dre. How was work today?
What's going on, Jake? How's everybody doing? I was loving the Gorman spot. I was hearing him beating on his poor keyboard. Like, what's going on there? So I figured, let me show up in the tank top, represent for our boy Charles Gorman. You know what I'm saying? You know, repping him out. Yeah, I can't wait. Like, just like my boy Jerome in the truck, I heard him come on talking about that bucket hat. That bucket hat is the seriousness. So I definitely got to add that to the 2 hoodies that I'm getting. The green t-shirt, and I have to do a black t-shirt as well. Like Bonesy, I actually have other color t-shirts other than Bonesy. Bonesy just got all black t-shirts hanging in his closet. I didn't know that you put, t-shirts on hangers, but but that's why Bonesy is who he is. We learn something new every day.
Dre, what's happening right now is legendary. Fialkow, another 5 spot of membership.
Oh,
baby.
See, Andrew's my boy. I love that.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. All right, here we go. 5 spot from Andrew, who once gifted himself and now is gifted more. Patriarch again. The Real C. Dot, JJP NYC, Ed Salmon, Low D, all officially channel members. Are we gonna make a late push here to get this store open? Is that what I'm hearing? How about a spot here from Luppy? He's throwing 1 at the goal. Enz Dios, you are a channel member courtesy of the Lup Man. Dre,
that's also I have to get on my grind.
Man. Let's go.
I'm gonna have to get on my grind. I'm gonna have to give some memberships as soon as I hop off of here. Carly and I had to have a conversation about the Jake Asman budget, the line item monthly budget that I have, because I had to increase funds to it in order to afford, gift the memberships and stuff like that. But now you got the merch store, and I need clothes, so this all works out well.
I'll tell you what. We need to add a tank top in the store for Fialkow, who wore a tank top today. You're rocking the Charles Gorman wife beater. Gorman was rocking the Gorman. We need it. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats. We don't have a tank top. So Carly, add a Asmaniac and logo tank top. We need to get that up for the launch.
Perfect. That is
Boom.
awesome.
There will be tank tops. Tremendous.
Yes. And like VR said, like, now in the summertime, the polos are a must because that I'm gonna be rocking the polos at work when I call in, and now I'm just all set. People are just gonna be like, and the best part about it is my other coworkers, who, by the way, they all whenever I go live or whenever I'm on the show, I shoot them a message like on our team's messaging, like, so on our company stuff, and I message them. We have our own private channel that I set up just to talk about football, where I drop in the links, and I'll put timestamp links so that they can go right there and start watching me. And then they'll come back and they'll be like, yo, Dre, you made such great points about this, and this, but what about this? And then we start talking about football by ourselves. And then I was like this, where I called in the VIX mode Dre, and they came over to me. They started crying, and they were laughing at everything that was going on.
I'm dying at the fact that you left yourself on hold earlier, and we got to hear you actually have a work conversation with someone. I didn't think that actually happened.
Oh yeah, I gotta show that. I'm gonna put that on now because I had forgotten about that part. But it's like after the first time when I left and I had left the floor, I went upstairs, and then that stuff going on. I was like, okay, I gotta make sure I never do that again. And then I just turned around and got busy, and I was like, forgot all about it. And it's like, oh, let's go live with Dre. And then I was like, I hear stuff in the background, but I don't really hear it when the headsets are on my neck. And then I was just like, turn around, and I'm like, what is out the corner of my eye? I'm like, oh, here we go. But yeah, we're definitely trying to grow the 4%. Hopefully, by the end of this month, we'll definitely be at like 5 or 6%. That's my goal. So I got to find me some females that know football. I might be able to make that happen. Gonna reach out to my family.
To the Charles Gorman channel too, Dre. He's looking for
we gotta help our boy Charles for sure. But shout out to VR, because I was like, don't buy up all the double XL or the XLs, because VR is gonna get at least something every color, because his style is ridiculous. So it's hard to keep up with our bro VR. But the merch store, baby, it's all about the merch. Look at that sweet hat. Tell me you don't want to wear that hat. Oh, and the iced coffee. The iced coffee mug, I'm all over that. I'm definitely getting that. Trust me. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, Trey. You are an absolute legend. And I love the fact that your name is now CEO of He's Gonna Die Productions.
He's going to die. I thought you'd like that. All right, my brother. I'm going to keep watching. Stay up, everybody. Peace and love to all the Asmaniacs.
Dre, you're the man. Send me a message on Discord. I'm buying you the coffee mug. It's on me as a thank you for all the support.
Oh, appreciate you, brother. I definitely will do that.
I appreciate you. It's the least I could do for Dre. He's a legend.
Hey, Dre, what do you think about Brock Purdy?
He's gonna die.
Love Dre. Dre, you send me the coffee mug you want. I think it comes in a couple sizes. Or if you want the iced coffee one, the tumbler you referred to, I got you. Ladies and gentlemen, more memberships are flying off the shelves. There's not enough time to hit 100. I got to be out of here in like 10 minutes max. I'm already running late, but the show must go on. 5 memberships from FPP because we got the greatest audience in all of sports. Let's go. Bang! Here we go. If you hear your name called, you thank FPP, who's a Packer fan who watches this show. That's the power of the Asmaniacs. Trianic, Buck Dot, Emily, Dan C, all officially Asmaniacs. Brett Siley, Asmaniac as well. Let's go. All right, that's 31 memberships added. We need 69. Nice. And then the merch store opens for 30 minutes. I'll tell you what, maybe we'll do tomorrow. We'll do a impromptu. The merch store will be open for as long as I'm live. We hit a membership threshold tomorrow. That's a good way to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, more calls right now. And this guy got the memo. Devin rocking the Garmin uniform. What's up, Devin?
Bro, what's good, my brother? Hey, man. Jake, I just love the show. You know what? I was wearing, let me see, which way? I don't know which was going to go. I was rocking the Jets, whatever, earlier. I was like, I got to take that off. In honor of my boy, Charles Gorman, and my fellow compatriot, Asmaniac, Dre throwing his on. I was like, I got to do it. And I'm gonna cop a tank top, Drake. I'm gonna definitely have to cop a tank top because I'm looking forward to this. And I'm a little bit angry right now. I'm not angry at all. But I'm a little bit disappointed because if you go live tomorrow, I'm getting off of work at 5:30, so I gotta catch up. So if you live tomorrow, you got to stay on for a little longer because I got to get some merch. It's just
I'll tell you
happen.
I'll tell you what. If we do go live, like we somehow get enough memberships and drop it early, all right, message me. I'll make sure you can get in there and get some stuff too, all right?
Message you on the Discord? On Patreon?
On the Discord, yep. And I'll make sure that you get the password, whatever it is. Gorman might have guessed it by now.
That was awesome. Charles Gorman, I love you, brother. I love you.
Evan,
you're misunderstood. Man. You're misunderstood. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate it. I just had to throw it on. It's next week I'm glad football is back, but this is amazing. You've kept me through the season, even though I know, and you got to go. So anyhow, appreciate you, Jake. Love you, bro.
Devin, I appreciate you. I also appreciate the fact that while Devin was paying tribute to Charles Gorman, Dre was being Dre. A 10 channel memberships. Let's go, Dre.
Is Brock Purdy going to run for his life on the opener? Yeah! He's going to die. Let's go. J-E-T-S, Jets. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to share with all of you a little preview of an item that was actually just added to the store. Carly's really good at what she does here. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look. I'm going to do a little screen share. All right. Here is, hopefully you guys can see this, the tank top that has been added in the merch store. The Asmaniac tank top is live. Now, the merch store is not live, but these items will be available. So you can see it. That's how quick we operate around here. Boom. Let's go. So you now can get tank tops when the merch store launches exclusively to Patreon users on Saturday, but it's live for 30 minutes if we get enough memberships. We have, time to update the count. Devin, a 5 spot. Good God. Let's go, Devin. Yeah. Sound the alarm. Mick Ling, Chops, Lewis 1010, Soul Spear, The Nash, all officially channel members. 41 plus 5, because we can't forget about the 5 that were distributed that YouTube doesn't count officially before the show, but we will count it on this show from Addison. So 41 plus 5, I'm bad at math, but I believe that is 46, which means we're almost halfway to 100. We're just going to run out of time. That's the thing. I'll stay on a little while longer. Hennessy says, I need a bucket hat. That you do. We have the bucket hat in logo and Asmaniac logo in black or white. The white one, I think, is fire. King Lowski, I already gifted him a black one. He wanted the black Asmaniac one, so that's on the way. Craig writes in, wife beater burn at L5 this year. Yes, with Charles Gorman being the honorary lighter fluid person. Normally, they pick a female at L5, the lighter fluid girl, but I would like Gorman to do it. Dre, super chats. The black tank is fire. Dre, shoot me a message. I'm sending you the link to get into the store early. You deserve it, man. This guy spends his entire day going to work as a giant facade to call into the show. In fact, he actually did say once that he could work from home, but since he knows he's going to call into this show, he likes to go to the office so he can still have the persona Dre in the office. So, Dre, you're getting access early. All right. You message me. All right, here we go. A couple more calls and we're done. Zach Bounce is up next. What's up, Zach? And then we'll go to JT. What's up, Zach?
Jake, and the words of Bobby Midnight, what's up, Jaco? Good to see you. Make sure you hit that like button, everybody. It's at the end of the stream, but make sure you hit that like button. Really just calling to say another day of the offseason, another day of ridiculous Jets media. Nothing new here. This is why we come here, to get the truth. Really appreciate it. Also, just wanted to say, I don't wear black tank tops. I'm not a tank top guy. I'm seriously considering investing in some Asmaniac merch just for the tank top.
Let's go, Zach. Let's go. I'll tell you what, we got everything on there. We got hats. We got like non-clothing gear too. The hoodies are great. The crew necks are great. We got the shirts. So this is just the first launch. So I want to make that clear to everyone. We're going to have funny stuff in there too, like V-Man sleeping on a t-shirt, something Bobby related, him sitting on the orange chair. This is just to get the ball rolling here. I wanted to get this done before training camp kicks off next week.
Yeah, I think it's all good stuff. Get it while you can. Say you got there before everybody else, before the 2024 historic season. That's my advice. But I just want to say, now being a member, I saw all those member-only videos, and they're cracking me up. They're hysterical. Totally worth it for the membership. I'm just here to promote, honestly, at this point.
I love it. Zach, your check's in the mail, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Jake. Have a good one.
Zach Bounce, check it in. All right. A bunch of people want to see the camo hat here. I'm seeing comments about that. Let me do a screen share real quick. Let me pull that up. This was new. I was not expecting this. Ladies and gentlemen, in the shop is the Asmaniac Snackback hat in camo. As soon as it loads, I'll pull it up on the screen. Stand by. Super chat while we wait for it to load from Mr. K. Can't figure out how to gift memberships, but I'll definitely donate. Love you, Jake. Funny man right here. Thank you, Mr. K. The way to do it is, instead of hitting a super chat, there should be a gift membership options. Now, there's a debate whether it works on your phone if you try and do it. Some people say it does. Some people say it don't. I don't know. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. It always works from a desktop, though, if you want to gift memberships. Let's see. All right. Here we go. Let's do a little screen share here. This, I think, is going to be a popular seller here. All right. We tried to make the prices as affordable as possible as well. Compare my stuff to other merch stores, and you're going to see I'm trying to do the best I can to make the best deal possible for everyone. All right, here we go. Screen share. Boom. The Asmaniac camo hat. Straight fire. Straight fire. All right, we're here. Why don't we do another tour? Let's show the kid stuff. I guess the kid stuff doesn't work. Hold on. We'll go through all the hats right here. There we go. All the different colors. These are snapbacks. We also have trucker hats, right? Here's the black. Here's the black with the white rim. I mean, the options are insane. There's something for everyone in here. Got all green. More angles of the camo hat. Keep going here. All right. And now, take a look at this. Let's get to the trucker hats. My personal favorite, this one right here. Also, the all white, straight gas, and the black is great. And it's $30, but if you're a Patreon user, you get a discount. So it's a steal. Most people's merch stores, they have hats that are, I saw one today that was $45. I'm like, I'm not charging my audience $45 for a hat. How about the winter hat here? The polo ones. The pom-pom beanie. In multiple colors. We need a green of this, Carly. Let's add a green if we can, if they offer it. Tremendous. And also, hold on. See if the kids one works. I want to show the onesie for Johnny's little boy. Here we go. The Jake Asman Show onesie. Also, a rundown on some of the items here. Mugs. Tumblers. The polo shirt. That's going to be a big one. We got more items coming. This will give you guys a quick little look, a little teaser here for everyone at the end of the show. We're just dropping Jake Asman show and Asmaniac stuff to start, and then all the funny stuff will be there too. This is my personal favorite snapback hat. I'm glad I could show this here. I ordered this today. Also, I'm told the tanks now have their own tag. Oh, here we go. You can get it in both Jake Asman show version or you could get it in Asmaniac version as we showed. Boom. All right, so that's a little tour right there, a little teaser. That launches Saturday for Patreon members, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. You also will get 15% off if you're a Patreon member. It's first come, first serve. First come, first serve on all the items. And then we'll do a restock after that if we need to. But you get a discount that's included with your Patreon membership. And you get early access on Saturday. Dre Day has become a channel member the old-fashioned way by hitting the join button. Super chat from JR Jet. I used my free one, but you missed this. I want everyone to know that Nick Wright lives in Harlem when I met him. When I see him, I'm going to make him put some respect in our Jets. Facts. All right. Bang! I appreciate that. Did I miss your free super chat, JR Jet? Oh, I did. It was sandwiched in between a membership parade. This is why I missed it. Look at this. JR Jet, I appreciate you, man. You've been an Asmaniac for 10 months. That's awesome. Shake and Bake. Missed this one earlier, too, with all the memberships flying off the shelves. He writes in, dang, got to the 6-month milestone. Nick Wright has always hated the Jets. He's just jealous of Aaron Rodgers. LOL. That he is. That he is. If you're tuning in late, Carly said she'll make a deal. If we hit 100 members, the shop will open for 30 minutes. We will not hit 100. We can't close. We hit 49. We hit 49. We did. That's pretty good. She originally said 50, and then she changed it to 100. Maybe we'll do a flash sale tomorrow. It all started when Addison gifted 5. Now, in that comment right there, it does say 50 here, and then Carly changed it to 100. I'm just saying. 9 a.m. Saturday, JakeAsmanShop.com. Merch store opens for Patreon users exclusively. Ladies and gentlemen, at the buzzer, Dre gifting a channel membership. Bang! Toon City Official, you're a channel member. All right, before we get out of here, I promise this guy, he's the last caller. JT, close us out tonight.
Yo, Jake, appreciate you for squeezing me in real quick, man. Shout out to everybody gifting memberships. Dre, you gifted one earlier. I appreciate you. Shout out to Andrew for his breakdowns. They're amazing. I'll just do a quick little shout out because, you know, you have to make it quick because you got to get out of here. But love your show, man. You get me through work with your 2 shows a day. Love it. Keep up the great content, man.
Thanks, JT. I appreciate you, man. I'm excited for you to rock some merch, man.
Oh, I'm excited to get some, man. I'm excited to get some. All right, man. You have a great night.
I love it. JT, appreciate you. Rob says, let's show up to the 17th and as Maniac swag strong. Everyone's showing up on the 17th. Rock your gear for sure. And also, I'll be giving out some free gear that night. Some free swag to everyone that's attending. Plus, you'll get free swag from ESPN New York's promo team. They're going to be there as well. So that's going to be awesome. All right. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats here. I don't think I did. Dre, I hope I read this earlier. Black Tank's Fire. I think I did, though. I think we're good. Dano wanted to know if there's sports bras in the store. Dano.
I like good-looking chicks in that thing. Wow.
Bobby.
Oh, yeah, baby. Things are about to get crazy here on the Jake Asman Show.
Calm your freaky down.
Sometimes we try, but that freaky just take us over.
Give him some of your loving voice.
Oh, yeah, hide them kids.
Again, leave your damn freaky down.
Too sexy.
you gotta chill, man. Come on, Dano. Hold on. Before we go, it's never too late to send someone to the hole. Priest on a plane. Thanks for your comment. Thanks for enlightening all of us. And thanks for the entertainment. See you never.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the Sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
See ya. Goodbye. All right. We're done here. Thanks to everyone. Thanks for the excitement about the merch store. Thanks to Fialkow, who came on for the first hour of the show, then dished 10 memberships, including one to himself, which has never happened before. Love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you all. Let's go, Jets. It's going to be a hell of a season. We're back tomorrow. Typical 2 shows, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. We're on to Thursday, baby. Jets, 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 Jets. For those who caught the beginning of the show, earlier, Bobby was our first caller because he was very tired. His live streams are killing him, so he went to bed early. Here's why Bobby went to bed early. I'll talk to you guys soon. Jets, 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 Jets. If you want access to the merch, join the Patreon. It launches Saturday, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show.
Yeah, we're losing him, guys. So
let me ask you this, though. This is why I think you need a nap. Yesterday, you confused Gary for his wife, and this happened.
Oh, is that Gary's wife? Hi, Gary's wife. Oh, there she is. Very good looking.
You realize that was Gary, right? You called Gary good looking there.
No, I must have been tired.
you're all fucking idiots.
I'm going to need you to stop hitting on Gary, Bobby.
What's everybody doing? I'm going to bed. Have a good night. Hi, Carly. First time I talked to you, you're a very nice lady. Where are you from, New York?
Hi, Bobby.